Today, I want to tell you about a really great book. It's called Influencer: The Power to Change Anything. It's one of those life-changing books that will greatly impact anybody's ability to be successful in whatever they choose. So the authors of the book actually began by investigating what works and what doesn't work in affecting social change. What they found out was something very different, that certain organizations or certain people are able to outperform that level significantly. And they call those outliers. Okay. In other words, they don't fit within the normal range of things. Instead, they are positive deviants from the norm. Well, what happens many times is people ignore the positive deviants or the outliers because they say, well, that's just a blip. But they decided to investigate and research those outliers and those positive deviants. They go into issues like literacy programs or HIV/AIDS prevention or successful auto manufacturing practices, avoiding infection of patients within the hospital. Just so many areas that you would think have nothing to do with each other. But it turns out that if you operate in these 6 significant ways, you can actually completely change your results. Here are the 6 items. Make the undesirable desirable. Surpass your limits. Harness peer pressure. Find strength in numbers. Design rewards. And demand accountability. And change the environment. One of the things they found is very successful individuals or very successful organizations are more direct and upfront about things that need to be improved. The crucial conversation means that you bring the issue up to the person as close to the time as possible, and you make clear what the expectation is and what the repercussions will be. So when you have those crucial conversations early, then the person knows, like, oh, this is an issue. This is a big issue. And this is not a debatable issue. Another thing that the book brings up is to focus change on desirable behaviors, not vague concepts. Our company policy is promptness. That's not a behavior. That's an ideal. That's an aspiration. That's an attitude. But if you say every employee must be in their place by the beginning of their work period, that's a behavior. Another thing they found is if you can identify significant behaviors, you can change an entire circumstance. When they investigated most hospitals, they found out that people were uncomfortable with bringing up the issue of hand washing. So nurses wouldn't mention it to doctors, or patients wouldn't mention it to nurses. So what they did was they made it a automatic thing, and that hand washing became something that was the first thing that you did when you entered a new room or when you did something, but also empowering people to say things when they see them. Anyway, I can't tell you enough why this is such a great book. Okay. All I can tell you is if you read this, you're going to look back on your own experiences and you're going to say, oh, that's why that worked. And you're also going to look at negative experiences that you have noticed, and you're going to say, ah, that's how that could have been done better. So anyhow, I want to encourage you to borrow this book, get this book, rent this book, whatever you have to do, buy this book. It will greatly affect your ability to accomplish the things that you're doing in your life.